If you have young kids, then you may know very well the Percy Jackson books have caught fire with young readers. The books are a kind of narrative mashup of classical mythology with current life today. Their popularity is at near Harry Potter levels in some quarters, especially with so-called reluctant readers as a category. As veteran parent Kate Snow reports, Percy's creator is also a father, and the books really are the gift he has given to his own son.
For readers a certain age, Rick Riordan is a rock star.
How you doing today, demigods? Excellent!
He's the guy who invented Percy Jackson, the hero of The Lightning Thief, his first kids' novel made into a movie in 2010. Percy's a modern-day kid who ends up fighting ancient battles. And the Percy Jackson novels are the reason kids like these know so much about mythology.
Who are your favorite Greek gods?
Aphrodite. Ares, god of war, and awesomeness. Demeter, the goddess of agriculture.
With The Lightning Thief, Riordan launched an empire. 9 books so far, a series about Percy, another that brought in Roman mythology, and the latest on ancient Egypt, the Cain Chronicles.
You've sold 30 million books, Rick.
I don't even know.
30 million books.
I know. I mean, I don't even know what that means. I mean, it's so unreal to me.
Unreal because it all came about by accident. 10 years ago, Riordan was a teacher at a San Antonio middle school. His son Haley was 7 and miserable. He was struggling to read and hated school. Haley was diagnosed with ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and dyslexia.
He was in a pretty precarious place when he was that age. And as a parent, you do whatever you can, of course.
Riordan found a way to connect with his little boy at bedtime. He told Haley every Greek myth he could think of until he ran out of stories and started making one up. One that turned ADHD and dyslexia into superhuman powers.
He said, you know, Haley, in Percy Jackson's world, if you have those conditions, that means you're probably a demigod. You're the son of a god. And he had no trouble believing that. He said, yeah.
He introduced it just like it was one of his other stories. Like any other story that dad would read their kid. But instead of like Thomas the Tank Engine, he was telling me about Percy Jackson.
Did you make him stay up late? Did you keep saying, more, Dad, more, Dad?
Yes, and he'd say, my voice is tired, let me go to sleep, let me go to sleep.
Percy's dyslexia means he can read ancient Greek. And his scattered thoughts give him quick reflexes in battle.
What did you like about the story?
He really incorporated a whole lot about my life into that story. It's like handcrafted for me. He knew what I liked, so he put that in the story.
Were you thinking all along as you're telling these stories, okay, I'm going to make this into a book?
I was not thinking that it would be a book at first, not at all.
But when Riordan decided he could turn his bedtime story into a novel, Haley wasn't happy to hear it.
My first response was no. That's a bad idea.
Why?
Because it was my story. I didn't want it being shared with anyone else. It was my personal thing.
Eventually, Haley came around, persuaded by Percy's power to get kids like him to keep reading.
A couple of you said you have ADHD, right?
Yeah. We asked a bunch of fans to meet us at Book People in Austin, a powerhouse local bookstore that helped launch Riordan.
Did it make you think differently about having ADHD?
Percy Jackson's series, it makes you feel like you're not one of those, lame kids. Like, you can do anything you want.
Like, you were supposed to have it because it's what's going to keep you alive and it's what's going to make you who you are.
Riordan's biggest impact has been on his very first audience. Now 17, Haley doesn't just read without a struggle, he's blossomed into a writer too. He's working on a novel.
These are just some of the clarity things.
Getting editing suggestions from his dad. And Haley has a short story coming out in a companion book to the Percy Jackson series.
You're proud of it?
I'm really proud of it.
I'm picturing a day right now, like 10, 20 years from now, when you and your dad are both on the shelf next to each other in the bookstore.
The Riordan shelf.
Exactly.
That would be interesting.
The fun thing is that I've been able to watch Percy Jackson and Haley grow up in tandem, and they've sort of taken the heroic quest together. They're both about the same age, and Haley, in my view, has become a pretty amazing kid in his own right.
He's really changed me. I mean, I used to hate writing. I used to hate reading. I couldn't do any of that. And he picked me up from that. He helped me. So he's been a wonderful parent to me. I mean, I can't thank him enough.
And neither can his readers. Hardcore fans have even invented summer camps based on the fictional Camp Half-Blood. But despite the fans and the bestseller lists, Riordan tries to stick to his pre-Percy lifestyle, keeping his old routine amid a multi-million-dollar enterprise. Riordan writes 2 books a year now. The next one's out in May, and we got a first look at it.
The title is The Serpent's Shadow, and it will wrap up the Kane trilogy.
While his publisher may have to wait a bit for the next series, the fan mail gets forwarded in bulk, most of it letters of thanks from readers far and near.
Dear Rick Riordan, the Percy Jackson series has changed the way I look at the world and everything about me. I think differently and speak differently now.
I used to hate books, and it was hard for me because I have dyslexia and ADHD.
I still don't like to read, but when it comes to your books,
all of that changed. You have inspired my whole family to read your books.
Oh, that's great. Those are the kinds of responses that mean the most to me. That's why I do what I do.
Kate, I'm generally of a mind that if a kid is reading a seatback safety card on an airplane,
right?
It's a net gain.
Exactly.
It's a parent thing. It's because
It
they're
is.
reading that these are so good, that these are so all-consuming. Such good stories, no wonder.
And he was a middle school teacher, so
Right.
he said to me, you know, this was my audience, and these are the kids that I know. I know how to reach them. I know if you put in some humor, you put in some drama. He said, basically being a demigod is like being in middle school. You're caught between adulthood and being a child. So that's where he came up with the whole
And
concept.
that honest moment where his son really considered it, this is our thing. It's kind of a violation of privacy.
Right, I want to keep this for myself. I don't want to give this to the world. But now he's enormously, as you saw, proud of his dad.
And the global debut of the new cover here tonight.
And the next series, Norse mythology.
Norse mythology.
Yeah.
See, you learn something different. Kate, thank you.